Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that we're going to talk about today is something apparently we struck a nerve. One of the leading gun controllers in the United States, this case, the Attorney General of New Jersey, really didn't like when we on the gun right side really attached a Sotomayor saying everything's common use. Yeah, he didn't like that, so he had to rush out and make a new statement and explain why that's not what she meant. When you're over the target, they're going to send out press releases. Everything I'm about to show you is linked in the description box below. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments field. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on because I suspect greatness is about to ensue with this one. And of course, this content is made possible by American Hartford Gold. I'm going to say a quick word and then we're going to dive into it. Content today is brought to you by American Hartford Gold. And brothers and sisters, with everything popping off around the world, wars cracking off, we've got inflation issues, we've got stock market volatility, we have cash concerns, we have oil concerns. It's a good time to take a look at least know your options with American Hartford Gold. They are dedicated to offering gold, silver, platinum coins and bars for your investing needs. Whether you want to do it delivered to your door or you want an IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, TSP, they've got options. This is something you guys should check out. At American Hartford Gold, they aim to educate clients about investments in the precious metal industry, strive to provide unparalleled customer service built on trust, integrity, and absolute transparency, while holding a goal of achieving 100% customer satisfaction. Click the link in the description or call 844-727-3199. That's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. Again, that's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. All right, beautiful people, listen, last week, right after the, I think it was actually this weekend, we made a video that was all basically saying the assault weapons bans and the desires of gun controlling regimes to do so are pretty much dead now because Sotomayor's dissent said something to the effect, and I'm going to quote in a second, of these were affixed to common use, commonly available semi-automatic firearms, which implies that AR-15s, the things that they want to ban, are common use, which falls under the Heller decision, which means you can't do it. Well, apparently that was a really good argument, because the Attorney General, Matthew Platkin of New Jersey, got big mad about it and had to send a letter basically refuting that point because someone in one of their lawsuits against them for being infringers cited it. Guys, this is glorious. Listen to this backpedaling right here. Oh, when you were over the target, as I mentioned, you're going to take the flak. This is coming from FPC. Thank you so much to them for putting this out there because this, chef's kiss, baby. The New Jersey Attorney General says that just because Justice Sotomayor called the guns that can use bump stocks commonly available, semi-automatic rifles, it doesn't mean she was talking about the kind of guns the state considers assault weapons. Yeah, it does. Because bump stocks don't go on fixed wood stock semi-automatic rifles. I just want to point that out. Also, the Attorney General of New Jersey is another one of the people who are suing Glock and demanding all of their internal documentation. Yeah, same class of people here. They're big mad about this one because they made a mistake, and I've even got the Heller decision here to prove how they did. In fact, you know what? Let's go out of order. Let me show it to you just because I love you, to give you the whole playing field. The highlighted part here. The general rule of decision embraced in Heller is that arms in common use are protected by the Second Amendment and cannot be banned. That is the legal test in a Second Amendment challenge to an arms ban. The court then applied that constitutional test or rule of decision to the facts presented by Heller and held that because handguns are in common use, handguns cannot be banned. Well, the argument has been that AR-15s are in common use. Remember, common use, Heller decision. This is previous Supreme Court decision, okay? That's what Bruin was built on. All of these things that are making gun control desires being really uncomfy. Let's get into the press release where they just make up history. As you can see, there's all the documentation and the stamps. On June 14th letter, plaintiffs, this is according to another lawsuit, reference to Justice Sotomayor's dissent in the Garland versus Cargill case. Again, we talked about this and we were on the target then and they don't like it. It does not help them. In that decision, Justice Sotomayor describes the catastrophic 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas and mentions that the shooter, quote, affixed bump stocks to commonly available semi-automatic rifles. End quote. Plaintiffs claim that brief sentence reflects a stunning admission, it does, that, quote, recognizes the unassailable fact that semi-automatic firearms, that the very banned by the laws at issue in the cases before the court, are in common use. They are! Guys, understand the way these people work. And that's what we do all day on this channel. These guys do not lift a finger without a long-term goal. They don't just send letters like this for no reason. They're sending the letter to try to get in front of Sotomayor's dissent because we on the gun rights side completely seized on it because she goofed. I already read you the Heller decision. I read you the quote from Sotomayor's dissent in the Cargill case. They literally have put themselves in a corner where they're trying to back out of it. This is a big deal, guys, but I got more for you. Because listen to what they're saying is, you can't make it up. Plaintiff's reliance on Justice Sotomayor's statement fails for multiple reasons. Oh, please go on. First, Cargill has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. Nothing to do with the Second Amendment. Okay. The case was emphasized at oral argument as such. So, you're right, it didn't have anything to do with the Second Amendment. It had to do with the usurpation of power from Congress by the ATF, an executive bureaucratic state, which just bans things at their random desire. It's very similar to when a state infringes upon the rights of their citizenry in order to get gun control. New Jersey, Platkin, talking to you, boo. So, let's go. That's the first thing they've said. Second, Justice Sotomayor's dissent in no way suggests that common availability is an appropriate test for Second Amendment protection, let alone a dispositive one. Again, I would like to go to the Heller verbiage. Let's read it together again. The general rule of decision embraced in Heller is that the arms in common use are protected by the Second Amendment and cannot be banned. Back to what they just said, the second point of their argument. Sotomayor's dissent in no way suggests that common availability is an appropriate test for the Second Amendment protection. No, Heller did it. Numbnuts. That's the whole point. Yeah, maybe you can say Sotomayor didn't really mean to do that. Well, Heller did. So, in trying to get in front of this, they're just confirming more of it, guys. They're running out of rooms to manipulate. They've painted themselves in such a corner that they have to come up with these types of things where I just literally read you verbatim from the Heller decision. Well, it's not actually technically from the decision. That's actually from the excerpt of the decision. But you get my point. I mean, good Lord. But let's continue. It thus has no bearing, talking about common use, on the points the state and multiple appellate courts have made refuting this exact text. Yeah, that's because it hasn't gotten above your leftist-controlled circuit courts yet, boo. It's on the way. But let's continue, because this is the final argument. And finally, the dissent in Cargill speaks only to the common availability of semi-automatic rifles generally, not assault weapons. A subset of semi-automatic firearms. Okay. So now we're going down the road of splitting hairs between semi-automatic rifles and assault weapons. So now what they're trying to tell you is, no, we didn't mean ARs and AKs and everything that we consistently know as assault weapons is assault weapons. After all, she was talking about things like the M1 Garand and stuff. Duh. And like the SOCOM and stuff. No, you can't do that. You can't split the hairs from assault weapons to now all of a sudden you're in trouble for common use where you're like, but it's a subset of all rifles and semi-automatics, but it's the assault portion. Nah, you got caught. Don't give me that crap. Oh, this is fun. Let's have some more fun. Let's see. So, this is so insane. Oh my goodness gracious. There's some more stuff in here about mag bans, but I'll be honest, I don't want to get into it. It is stupid, but the big point here is they're going down and trying to get in front of, no, it doesn't make sense. Sotomayor's dissent didn't say that common use rifles, which we were referring to when we say assault weapons, would not be bannable. But even if it did, we weren't talking about all rifles. We were just talking about the assault weapons, even though every single press release and bullet point and talking point has been about the AR-15 and the AK-47. But we didn't mean those. Guys, if you're buying this, I got a bridge to sell you where you don't need one, and it'll come real cheap. Because they do not like what Sotomayor just put in her dissent, and we sure as heck do, and we're going to use it a lot more. I bet you're going to see it quite frequently and see more responses just like this, because they will always fire when you're over the target and they are threatened by something. They'll always tell you what they're afraid of. And that's what I've got for you guys. I hope that wrapped your night in a lovely fashion, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.